Welcome. Let's dive into your expertise with ServiceNow import sets. To start, can you explain what an import set is in ServiceNow?
Yeah, sure. An import set is a tool in ServiceNow that administrators use to bring data from various external sources into ServiceNow platform. It acts as a staging area where data is temporarily stored for some time before it is being mapped and transformed into the target ServiceNow tables.
That's great. What role does the import set table play in this process?
Okay, sure. The import set table is essentially a temporary storage area where the record from external data source are staged. It means they are there for some temporary purpose, okay, temporary times. These tables are automatically generated based on the structure of the imported data. For example, if you have imported data from an Excel, like based on the columns of Excel, the table structure will be created, like its fields will be created. So whatever sort of operations you want to do on that data which is just imported, but it is not yet updated in the actual table of service now, you can do that there. You can do scripting, you can do other stuff as well, so that you will get only the data which you need. Unnecessary data will be cleaned there in that staging table itself. Just remember that these tables are automatically generated based on the structure of the imported data. But modifying these tables manually, like adding columns, is discouraged. It is not allowed. Means it is not recommended because it can disrupt cleaning process, which ServiceNow do on regular basis. Okay, and if you do such kind of thing, it may be possible that it may leave some orphan records.
Interesting. How does ServiceNow handle the mapping of data from the import set table to a target table?
Sure, this is done using ServiceNow transform maps. Okay, which defines the relationship between the fields in the import set table and the target table. During the transformation process, the data is copied from staging table to the destination table based on these mapping only. Okay.
Speaking of transformation, what happens if there's already matching data in the instance?
So if there is a matching data, the import set skip those records to avoid duplication. However, if you want to update existing records instead, you can enable the coalesce option during the transformation process. This ensures that the record in the target table with matching values are updated. And if there is no match, a new record will be created.
That's a useful feature. Can you share an example of when a foreign record insert might occur?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. A foreign record insert happens when an import updates a table that is not the primary target table. For example, if you are updating the caller field in an incident table, it might modify a record in the sys user table, which is referenced here by the caller field.
I see. Now, let's talk about import formats. What file types does ServiceNow support for importing data?
Okay, so ServiceNow here supports CSV, Excel, XML, and JSON file formats. Each format has a specific requirements like adhering the RFC standards. For example, in JSON, the path for each row must specify the array root element twice.
Good to know. How does ServiceNow handle large data imports, especially when processing time is a concern?
So in case of large data sets, ServiceNow offer the options of concurrent imports. This feature split the incoming data into multiple import sets and process them simultaneously. However, the concurrent import should only be used after optimizing the parameters such as database indexes and transformation, because it may hamper performance, or it may lead to corruption of data if it is not handled properly.
What happens behind the scenes during a concurrent import?
So when the concurrent import runs, the system creates multiple import sets and assign them to the concurrent import set job queue. Then each active node in the instance processes these jobs concurrently up to the system defined limit. You can increase or decrease the limit according to the system properties.
That's a well-structured process. Can we ensure data is processed in order during concurrent imports?
Yes, in that case, we can use partitioning. By default, ServiceNow distribute records to import set in a round robin fashion. But with the custom script, we can define the partition key to the group related records. This ensures that the data within the partition is processed sequentially.
One last question, how does ServiceNow manage old import set data to prevent clutter?
Sure. ServiceNow uses the import set deleter. This is a scheduled job which runs daily at midnight. By default, it removes all the import set older than 7 days, okay, along with their associated records. If this job is inactive, it should be enabled to prevent the excessive growth of import set tables.
Fantastic answers. You've explained everything so clearly. Any final thoughts for our viewers?
Sure, thank you so much. Just remember that import sets are a powerful feature in ServiceNow, but optimizing processes like transformation, call checking, and concurrent import is a key to ensure the smooth operations.
Thank you for sharing your insights. That's all for today.